So we are going to create a query that will append the work order data from the end of September into the table that we have in the history database. So the append query is going to be very similar to our make table query. So we're going to right click on make table and go right into design view. And we basically want pretty much everything the same, except our service date's going to be different. Now, before I start making any changes, I am going to go ahead and save this under a completely different name. Oops, save object as. I'm going to call it September 2018 append. Okay, and now that it's under a different name, I'm going to go ahead and adjust my date criteria because I want the end of September added to that September table we created earlier. And so I'm going to be looking at the 16th through the 30th. And, you know, if you're concerned whether this is going to work or if you wanted to see the records before we actually use the append command, you can change it back to a select and run it. And just kind of verify the records just so you have an idea. It looks like there's 8 of them. And let's go back to view. At this point, we are going to go ahead and make it an append query, which is going to take those records and put them at the bottom of an existing table. So we're going to click on append. First thing you have to tell it is the name of the table, and that is the table that we want to add them to. And the table is in another database. And let's just verify that the name is correct. Okay, that is correct. That is the database where we want to add records to an existing table. And we'll click OK. So that append information is correct. And once we run this, I'm going to save it. Once we run it, it is going to take those records and add them to the bottom of that other table. So let's go ahead and click on run. You're about to append 8 rows or 8 records. Let's say yes. And now when we open up the CompServe history database and we look at that table, we are going to have all of the work orders for September in that table. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to look at the history database. And let's open up the table. And what you should have are all of the records for September now. And at this point, we can close this database and return to the RSR CompServe database.